It is the end of September in my Chicagoland garden. There's still a lot going on, and I'd love to show you. Stick around. Well, there's no denying that fall has arrived, but we've got a lot still happening. It's amazing. My fall successions of lettuce are coming on now. The rosemary's doing great, and that mum is about to burst with color. My Dr. White Cheese Yellow is loaded with fruit, and tomorrow we're going to go ahead and pick it because the end of the week we're going to be down in the 40s and the tomatoes won't hack those low temperatures. The Santiam Sunrise, I think we will just pare it back heavily and try to get some more fruit ripened. Well, it's the next day and I am going to take out the Dr. White cheese today. The first one I'm going to remove. It has so many fruits on it, and I do like to let them go until they are ripe, right on the vine. But I also feel like, it's not long until this is over, and I'm playing a little bit of Russian roulette with the squirrels. Sunrise got a drastic prune back. Just want to see if I can get any more of those to blush a little bit. And we have a harvest of the ones that I think we can take. Well, there's the final harvest. These are all great and they will definitely be edible. These will be coming along soon. Those three all have damage, probably going to get rid of them, and those are destined for my neighbors, something at every stage of the game. There's my Swiss chard. That's the Ford hook, and peas. I've got a few forming, so we may actually get some. It was sort of a Hail Mary for me. This is the Mercurian leeks that Steve sent me from England, and I gotta tell you, I am impressed. Had they started as the same time as my other leeks, I think they would be outperforming them. And here's some of the last of the Ferrari beans, but goodness, they just keep coming and coming and coming. I'll pick some of these for dinner. That's an amazing plant. I will do those beans again. Here's my other leeks, and they're doing great. This is the American flag variety. That's my favorite variety. There's the Santiam Sunrise from the other side. You can see all those tomatoes forming, and they have just been delicious. I'm totally doing that one again. And these are the Red Swan beans. They just keep producing bean after bean after bean. Slowing way down now, but that mixed with a bunch of other beans from the yard, and you can totally get a meal. Some radishes that I put in, and there's the lavender next to that big mum. These Ishikura bunching onions just got away from me. I had planted so many of them, but I'll harvest them and barbecue them. They're good that way. That center circle doesn't have the squash in it anymore, and I never got this planter here up into the center because it didn't fit easily, so I stuck one pot in another pot, and I'm just making it work. A little color here and there. The snaps are loving the cooler evenings, and they are firing right back up. So this should have a really good show in about 2 weeks. It's already looking pretty. And the best thing that I did was not yank these calendula and just give them a hard prune back, because they are coming right back. They've got lots of buds all over them, so in a week's time I should have another good show from them. These Nantes carrots are ready to pick at any time. I just don't need them yet, so I'm letting them hang out. They actually tend to get a sweeter flavor as the temperatures cool down. The sun has peeked out of the clouds. This is the Lucid Gem, and as we have gone on in the season, more of these have a much more purple look to them than they did initially at the beginning of the year. But that is still topping my list as the favorite tomato. But it's crazy. Like, there's one hidden inside being shaded, and see how much more orange it is. Less of that purple anthocyanin. This is Tim's Taste of Paradise. It came into its own and it is just cranking them out. We're picking every other day now. That'll end though, because of the temps. Under the bed, I have some beets and snapdragons. This is Utah tall celery and a second round of celeriac. Don't know if it'll make it. Some more snaps and herbs. This is King Richard leeks back here. They're nice, but they're not huge this year. This is my planting of lettuce to take us through the fall, and more radishes and a little bit of arugula and mustard greens. As you can see back there, my envy carrots are definitely ready to pick. Looks like they might be getting nibbled too. I just don't need them yet, so I'm still letting them hang out. This is the Castelluto Genovese, still putting some tomatoes out for me. And Mr. Tartar's German still has 3 tomatoes that will definitely come. There's a few more, but they're still pretty green. This is Britain's Breakfast. I did a hard pick on this one last week, and now I've got a lot more fruit that's ripening up. Those are great roasted. This is Tango celery. It has done marvelously. Let's see if I can get down there and show you. So I'll be making celery soup for the freezer. This is the celeriac, and it's pretty marvelous as well. There's some pretty huge root systems on them. And what we've liked the most is to make chips in the air fryer with it. Very, very tasty. Here's my herbs, parsley and the Greek oregano. This is a little row of beets. If I don't get beets, I'll definitely have beautiful greens to eat. And there's a mum that's all fired up. She's like, thank you for taking all those other plants out. I can breathe now. And right next to those beets are fennel. And let's see if I can get a picture down low. Those bulbs are actually ready, some of them to eat. So I think I'm gonna roast them today with the steak. Here's another patch of lettuce that I put in for the fall. These are my garlics for the garlic collab, and they are just about at size to pick now to make that video for you and my other YouTuber friends who I had sent seeds to do the same. The Anaheim, I picked several and they just keep coming. Well, there's the 4 I just picked. Add them to the ones that I had in the fridge, and I'm gonna sit and process them. Got my little cup of tea, some nitrile gloves, and a dish to collect seeds in. I'm going to dehydrate these. Well, these Anaheims don't have a lot of heat, somewhere between 500 and 2000 Scoville. They do get your hands just like a hot pepper, so gloves are very, very important, even though they're not that hot to the tongue. So the way I like to do these is I just cut the top off and then I slice them right down the middle. Then I'm going to scrape out the seeds and put those in a dish. So I'm about halfway through those peppers now. It's tedious work, that's for sure, but it's going well. Just have to remember you can't touch anything with those gloves. Oof. This is a 9-tray Excalibur dehydrator, but I've used 5 trays, given a little bit more airflow to get these dried faster. Saved a lot of seed, and ultimately it dehydrated down to not a whole lot of pepper. And look at this, what Allie called an ahi mango plant. It also has been an excellent producer. Really big peppers, gorgeous. They get bright red when they're done. And this is the dragon tongue beans, and there's some amethyst beans behind that. And they're, you know, still putting out. They've been going now for a couple of months. I need to pick some of those and have them for dinner. And this is radishes that kind of got away from me. I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and now they've really gotten big. So, you know, they are actually delicious roasted. So I think I'll roast some of those with the fennel to have with our steak tonight for Sunday dinner. Now this long bed is pretty much done except for the peppers. There are still habanero peppers all over the place. These are the pepper that is a habanero flavor without the heat. And they're pretty good. They're not the same flavor as a habanero, but you know, pretty good. Especially as the season has gone on, it's gotten better. This is my Alma paprika, and that one is ready to pick. I found that if they get much redder than that, they kind of go bad. And those sweet ingredients are just about there. In here are a couple of kale, the lacinato and Scotch curly. And now the melon bed is done. Cucamelons, they're putting out 1 or 2. And the Greek gigantes with scarlet runners are done now. I honestly need to do a little cleanup, a big cleanup actually, on this bed. I've been letting the brown-eyed Susans go to seed so that I can save them. And the cardinal vine is just really looking quite beautiful now, and enjoying this fall weather. My long thin bed has new company. My neighbor gave me 2 of these rather ornamental strawberries. The flavor on them is just yeah, but you know what? They're strawberries and we will eat them. They're just about ready. They put out the most beautiful little pink blooms. I'll be excited for those. And these beans, the mascote or mascotti, however it's pronounced, are still putting out more beans. Just keep flowering up and putting out more beans, but you know, that'll end at the end of this week. I need to do something with these blackberries that I potted up. Not quite sure, and I need to dehydrate some time for the winter. This little guy keeps putting out more and more little brown-eyed Susan vine blossoms. The garlic chives are finished up now, and I'm just waiting for these blossoms to dry out a little bit more. You can see though that it's getting close. You can see those little black seeds. So in a day or two, I'm going to grab them all so that they don't scatter everywhere. The mint, rhubarb, and lemon balm. Well, stop to pick some fennel. It looks amazing. Also, stop to pick some mixed beans and put some things that were already picked in the house together and roasted them for a delicious Sunday dinner. Well, that was crazy. Just came out to harvest some things for dinner, ended up doing a full garden tour and picked some stuff for dinner, talked to the neighbors. You know how it goes when you hit the backyard. Anyway, remember, sometimes the only thing we harvest is knowledge, and that's okay. Bye for now. We'll see you on the next one.